Well, our friend Chris Foy has joined us, which only means one thing, especially when he's dressed like a referee as well. It's been quite a 24 hours, hasn't it? So let's get on with the big controversial moment of this game, which was the Brentford equaliser. And what happened and why it happened, because there are various phases to it as well. So let's have a look at the goal and talk it through. Because initially was Pinnock on Gabriel just near the penalty spot there, whether Pinnock was offside or not.
That's absolutely right. So, as we know, when a goal's scored, it's automatically checked. And what they were looking at in the first instance here, was there an offence in the attacking phase of play? So there was a little bit of a tangle between Pinnock and Gabriel. So they've looked at it, analysed it. It wasn't a clear and obvious error. It was more of a 6 and 2-3s, and they decided that was fine. The next bit is the important bit.
Was he offside? You're happy he wasn't offside either?
No, he's not offside. I mean, being in offside position is not
an offence in itself.
Until you get involved in active play. So what we've got now is this next phase of play, and we see the ball headed forward to Norgard, and obviously he crosses it to Ivan Toney, who scores. And they looked at that, they checked it, and the goal was allowed to stand. But I think if we can run it on and look at a slow-motion picture, you'll actually see that Norgard, prior to crossing the ball, was in an offside position. And the goal shouldn't have been allowed. But the VAR looked at that and felt that it was fine. And what they didn't do was look at it, lay the lines down, and then decide that it was offside. And, you know, we've heard today from PJ Moel that it's human error by the VAR, that they've made a mistake, and they've spoken to Arsenal about this.
That they forgot to draw the lines, or they didn't realise there was a possibility that Norgard might have been offside? How did it slip through the net, do you think?
I'm presuming that because they'd taken quite a bit of time to check the little tangle
between Pinnock and Gabriel,
and then it bounced around, it had taken quite a little bit of time. And once they'd done that and they were happy, and it had gone on, it was just, you know, it was just a misjudgment. You know, it's a mistake.
Was it human error, Chris? Was it human error by not seeing it, or was it human error by not checking it, by not putting the lines in?
I think when they've looked at it in the first instance, they must have felt that it wasn't offside.
Just visually?
Yeah, but when you look at it, we can clearly see. And it's the classic one where you've got a body that shape and a body that shape. And Norgard was, you know, you can see he's offside. And all it needed was to lay the lines down. And once that's done, we would have seen he was offside.
They just didn't realise that there might have been an offside there. Listen, we all make mistakes, so we all get something wrong. I think the bit that concerns people is there's more than one person in the booth, so that nobody realised there might have been an offside against Norgard is the worrying thing.
Well, the thing is, in the booth is the VAR, which is a referee. We've also got an AVAR, which is an assistant to that person, who is an assistant referee. And obviously they are the specialists with offsides, and a replay operator who, when we get an offside, they're the person who looks after the technology, and the VAR explains where they want the lines put in, and they are locked in. But in this situation, it didn't happen.
But that's the point. The assistant referee, whose speciality is offsides, it didn't go through his or her mind that there might have been an offside there.
Yeah, I think because it took quite a bit of time, they got drawn to that first bit. And then when it came to the second bit, they didn't pick that up. Had they have done, I'm quite sure that the line should have gone down, it would have been offside.
I think since Howard Webb has come in, he's asked everyone to make quicker decisions rather than stopping the game. But I'm sure if you're someone with Arsenal persuasion, you don't care how long it takes, as long as you come out with the right decision. So it is a mistake by not checking. They check every goal, don't they, for offside?
Yeah.
I mean, that is human error, like you say it is. VAR was there to take human error and subjectivity out of the offside decision, but we're still seeing it.
Yeah, I think with this one, because it's factual, you're either on or you're off.
Yeah.
As we said, it should be off. And there's always the pressure to, we want it quicker, we want it faster, we want it quicker, we want it faster. I think in this stage, it was just a case of break it down in component parts and then make that decision at the end to get the right outcome.
Not a lot of consolation for Mikel Arteta, who's trying to win a very difficult league. I mean, listen, Brentford might have equalised anyway, but if you two were in that Arsenal dressing room, you'd be going, hang on a second.
I thought he took it really well, Mikel. I really did. I thought afterwards he was really calm about it. You know, he's obviously made his point, as you would expect, and he's got every right to. I think he took it really well. A lot better than I would have took it.
We know.
Ivan Toney played extremely well. And the irony is he scored a goal which shouldn't have been allowed, having himself and Brentford missed 2 or 3 glorious chances during the game.
You know what? When he's on it, he must be a nightmare to mark because his movement's good, his pace is strong, he always sees a pass and he can deliver a pass as well.
He ran him pretty ragged at the back.
Yeah, he did, but what he does, he doesn't just stay in that centre-forward position. He'll drop off, he'll bring it down, he'll play. Again, another player that will just give defenders a nightmare. Strikes a great ball. You don't want to be marking him. And he finishes very well. Yeah. He could have had 3. That one there, he's going to be thinking about that one. Even though he scored, he'll be thinking about the ones he's missed.
He looked like a top 6 player, didn't he, Tim, in this game?
He really did.
And I don't mean to try and sell him on behalf of Brentford. There's nothing more annoying, but he looked like a top 6 player.
How many teams do we look at around, even at top teams? You know, Chelsea now, we're talking about needing a centre forward. I mean, he wouldn't be out of place at Chelsea.
They haven't bought anybody for a bit.
He wouldn't be out of place at Arsenal. Yeah. You know, he could have swapped a shirt there, and he would.
Now, this free kick led to the goal. He's quite cute at this, Chris.
Yeah, but what you've got is as I always call it, it's a 6 and 2 3s. Who's holding who? The defender and the attacker, they're battling, and you know, you're not going to be looking at that.
Nothing wrong with that, Ivan. Nothing wrong with that at all.
We've discussed the fact the goal should have been ruled out, but they do win every header in that sequence, Brentford.
Yeah, and
they win every single ball.
It's just wanting to get there first, keeping it alive. You know, creating a chance out of nothing, which is what they did.
Arsenal, Manchester City. Finally, they meet this season. Finally, they meet. And suddenly now, Arsenal have hit a bit of a flat spot. Yeah. Manchester City played really well today. What do you think about Wednesday night?
This was a cup final. I thought that game was so pivotal to the 2 games coming up this week. I think if they won that game, they would beat Man City, and then I think the season was over. I thought they would win the league from there. Because of that draw, because of the decision, what's helped them get the draw as well, I think it throws it into the...
But can Arsenal use that as fuel to say,
possibly.
Listen, you know, the ref got it wrong?
But, you know, it's like we're like in the dressing room, just the draw's not as bad as a loss. Yeah. But when you win, you're bouncing. You can't wait for City to come to your house and then you show them what you got. So it was devastating, that result in the end, because they deserved to win the game, I felt.
Yeah.